You know what's funny? When a woman walks away from a good man, she often doesn't realize what she's truly losing. Not at first. At that moment, she's confident, maybe even a little cold. She tells herself she'll be fine without you, that she's making the right decision, that she's choosing herself. But here's the truth that time always reveals. The man she thought she could replace isn't so easy to find again. And that realization doesn't come immediately. It sneaks up on her in silence, in moments she didn't expect. At first, she might feel relieved. She's free. She's scrolling through her phone, maybe texting new guys, maybe posting pictures trying to look like she's glowing. You've seen it before. The I'm doing better without you act. But that act always hides something. Because no matter how many filters or smiles she shows the world, deep down, she's waiting to feel something that matches what she once felt with you. The calm when she was in your presence. The way you listened when she spoke. The way you looked at her. Not just like a woman, but like a soul you truly saw. And when she doesn't find that again, that's when regret begins to grow. But here's where most men go wrong. They chase. They try to prove their worth, to make her see what she lost. They send long texts. They beg for closure. They think reminding her of what they had will make her come back. But all that does is confirm what she's already thinking, that she still has control over you. And when a woman knows you're still emotionally tied to her, she won't regret losing you. She'll feel secure knowing you haven't moved on. The truth is, the moment you start chasing, you erase her curiosity. You remove the mystery. And nothing makes a woman feel the weight of regret more than silence. The kind that forces her to wonder if you ever cared at all. Or worse, if you've already forgotten her. See, what really makes a woman regret losing you isn't revenge. It's evolution. It's when you stop trying to prove anything and quietly start becoming the version of yourself she always underestimated. The man who no longer needs her validation. The one who's focused, grounded, and completely at peace with letting go. Because here's something most men never realize. When you finally detach emotionally, she feels it. Even if you're not in contact. Even if you've blocked her or moved on. Energy never lies. The shift is invisible but powerful. She feels your absence differently. Suddenly, the man she took for granted doesn't feel so available anymore. And that's when the questions begin to haunt her. Maybe she scrolls through your old pictures, wondering what you're doing now. Maybe she sees you out, calmer, sharper, more confident, and that small piece of her that thought she could replace you starts to ache. Because regret doesn't come from losing someone who needed her. It comes from losing someone who outgrew her. A man who leveled up without bitterness. A man who didn't fall apart when she left, but rebuilt stronger, quieter, wiser. And that's the moment her pride turns into pain, when she realizes you were never the problem. When the man she left behind is no longer standing in the same emotional place she walked away from. When your silence speaks louder than any words ever could. You see, regret doesn't hit a woman all at once. It creeps in slowly, quietly, when the excitement of her new life starts to fade. At first, she'll distract herself. New places, new people, maybe even a new guy. But you can't fake connection. You can't duplicate chemistry. And deep down, she knows it. Every man she meets will be compared to you, even if she'd never admit it. She'll notice how he doesn't listen the same way, how his presence doesn't make her feel safe the way yours did. Maybe he's fun, maybe he's good-looking, but something is missing. It's not you. It's the energy she once felt when she was around you, that mix of calm and strength, that emotional depth she didn't realize was rare. And while she's trying to fill that void, you've changed. You're no longer the man who used to overthink every text, who stayed up wondering why she pulled away. You've stopped checking her social media. You're not replaying every conversation in your head. You're too focused on building your peace, your goals, your confidence. You've started to see that the real win isn't getting her back. It's getting yourself back. The version of you that existed before the pain, before the confusion. That man she fell for in the first place. And once you start stepping back into that energy, something powerful happens. She feels it. Maybe she'll sense it when she sees your story pop up. Maybe she'll hear about your success from mutual friends. Or maybe she'll just feel that strange emotional shift, the kind that says, he's not mine anymore. That's the moment her mind starts to spiral. She starts wondering if you've met someone new, if you're happier now, if you even think about her at all. And the irony? The same silence she once used to test your feelings now starts testing hers. Because women don't regret when a man keeps chasing. They regret when the man they took for granted moves forward without needing to be seen. That's when her ego starts to crack. It begins with curiosity, a random message, a like, a subtle reach out just to see if you'll respond. But it's not about love yet. It's about control. She wants to know if she still has access to your emotions, whether she still matters in your world. And this is where most men fail again. They respond too soon, too eagerly. They think that one text means she misses them. But the truth is, regret and desire aren't the same thing. Real regret doesn't show up in a message. It shows up in her silence, in her eyes when she realizes she can't reach you anymore. Not emotionally, not spiritually. You want to make her truly regret losing you. Don't try to convince her. Don't post things just to make her jealous. Don't chase validation. Instead, let your growth do the talking. Let your absence make her feel what your presence once gave her. Value. Because once a woman realizes you're not coming back, that she can't control your emotions anymore, her memories start to change. She begins to see the truth. That the man she left wasn't weak, he was loyal. That what she mistook for neediness was actually genuine care. And that kind of realization cuts deep. It forces her to face her own choices, her own immaturity, her own loss. That's when the tables turn. Not because you played a game, but because you stopped playing entirely. Here's where it gets real, because this part isn't about her anymore. It's about you. The truth is, the best revenge, the deepest form of power, isn't making her regret. It's reaching a point where you no longer need her to. You see, when you start to evolve beyond the pain, you stop living for her reaction. You stop checking if she's watching, if she's missing you, if she's thinking about you. You become your own source of validation. And that's when something shifts inside you. Something she can feel but can't control. When a man starts walking in self-respect, his entire energy changes. You stand differently. You speak differently. You move differently. You're not chasing approval anymore because you finally understand your worth. You begin to realize that what you gave her, your loyalty, your time, your patience, was rare. You weren't just some guy. You were a man who actually cared, who tried, who was willing to build. And most women don't recognize the value of that kind of man until it's gone. That's why your silence, your calm, your focus, it's so powerful. Because while she's out trying to replace what she lost, you're busy becoming the kind of man she'll never find again. Imagine this. Months have passed. She's scrolling through her feed late at night and suddenly, your name pops up. Not because you posted something for attention, but because your success, your glow, your peace is shining louder than any post could. You're traveling, laughing, living. And it's not a performance. It's real. She looks at that and for the first time it hits her. You're not waiting anymore. You're free. That's the kind of realization that doesn't just sting. It burns. Because now she's not just missing you. She's realizing she lost access to the version of herself she only became when she was with you. Here's a little psychological truth. Women feel loss more deeply when the emotional bond was genuine. It's not about time or attraction. It's about emotional safety. You made her feel seen, and when she walked away, she didn't just lose a boyfriend. She lost that emotional anchor. And when she sees you've built that stability on your own, without her, that's when the regret transforms into something heavier. Guilt. Because she'll know deep down that you didn't stop being the man she needed. You just stopped waiting for her to realize it. And here's the part that most men don't expect. When she does reach back out, and trust me, in time, she probably will, you'll feel nothing. Not anger, not revenge, not excitement. Just peace. Because you've outgrown the part of you that once needed her validation to feel worthy. That's what true power looks like. Not needing her to come back, not needing her to regret, but simply being okay with the fact that she will. So don't focus on making her feel anything. Focus on becoming everything you were meant to be. Because when you do, the universe has a way of making her watch. Quietly, from a distance. And by then, the story won't be about her losing you. It'll be about you finding yourself. You know, there's a strange peace that comes after the storm. That quiet moment when you realize you've stopped waiting for the apology, stopped needing the closure, stopped hoping she'll see what she lost. That's when you finally understand. She didn't break you. She revealed you. She showed you who you were when love got hard, when loyalty was tested, when your heart was cracked wide open. And still you cared. Still you loved honestly. Still you gave your best. And that's something no one can take away from you. There's a kind of strength that only comes from being the one who stayed true. You see, losing someone doesn't always mean you lost. Sometimes it means you outgrew the version of yourself that kept settling for less. Maybe she left because she didn't know how to handle a man like you. One with depth. One who loved with intention. Maybe she wanted excitement, attention, or validation. But with time, those things fade. And when the noise around her quiets down, she'll remember the calm you brought into her life. The way you made her feel safe without saying much. The way your presence felt like home. That's when the deepest kind of regret sets in. Not because she can't find someone new, but because she can't find you. That exact energy. That exact connection. The way you made her feel seen in a world where everyone else only looked at her. That's the kind of void no amount of attention can fill. But here's what's even more powerful. By the time she realizes that, you'll be too far ahead to look back. Because healing doesn't mean pretending it never hurt. It means remembering it did, and choosing peace anyway. And you'll notice, when you truly let go, life starts aligning differently. Opportunities show up. You meet people who match your growth. You laugh again, not because you're trying to prove you've moved on, but because you actually have. You start to attract from a place of wholeness instead of emptiness. And that's when you finally see, she was never your loss. She was your lesson. The lesson that taught you self-worth, boundaries, patience, and the beauty of walking away with dignity. So if you're listening to this right now, wondering how to make her regret losing you, understand this. The goal isn't to make her feel pain. It's to make yourself feel peace. Because nothing hurts a woman more than realizing the man she left behind didn't just survive. He thrived. He became the man she always wanted, just not for her anymore. And when she finally looks back, you'll already be walking towards something far greater. A love that doesn't require you to prove your value. A connection that doesn't come with confusion, and a woman who sees you, not as an option, but as a choice. So don't wait for her to regret losing you. Become the reason you'll never regret losing her.